My name is Stephanie Rakowski, and for over the past 10 weeks, my project for this term for Special Topics was a documentation of a few of the students in my class. I filmed and photographed as much as I found necessary to come up with the final production to be able to show future students what is involved in the process of creating a portfolio piece of work.
I am Shayna Newborn. I am doing a special topics project dealing with profile photography. I'm doing a client's website. She is a hair designer, so I'm doing some photography to feature her clients' hairstyles for her site. I play percussion and I love rhythm, and I teach youth how to step. So I want to incorporate other things with everything that I'm learning here under the digital media program, which includes videography, video editing, photography, incorporating lighting with that to enhance everything that I do, as well as teach others to do that as well. After I graduate, I actually plan to do some entrepreneurship, which incorporates everything I do rhythmically, because I'm a percussionist, and also I step.
My name is Isho Bolas. This term in Special Topics, I will be working on a photo story, which is a series of photos basically telling a story. With this project, it's going to entail studio light on the subject to give more of a promotional feel for it.
This is just Rembrandt. All we're doing is, rather than having it be all about the ratios or the size of light, I'm just using this as called feathering. I'm turning this away from him a little bit, so it's giving me a little bit of a rim, but this is still pretty ocular. It's going to wrap around him a little bit, so you're getting that with nice detail here. It's shadowing. This is a nice key exposure. That's boxer light there, brother.
Location shots, we're going to do subtle lighting to show more detail into the storyline of the photos. The final product, you get Chris running just in snow with a 16:9 picture.
Like, you know, after, what was that, probably like my 10th or 12th match. Italian, boy. You know, I knocked him out pretty good. That's where I got my pride from.
So many times it happens too fast. You change your passion for glory. Don't lose your grip on the dreams of the past. You must fight just to keep them alive. It's deep eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight.
Inside the school that we did with the meat locker room, you had Rome in front of him. The final product you're seeing is a picture of meat hanging in front of Chris with him hitting it. And then post-production on the speed bag picture, or the punching bag, you got a little bit of fog and a dark light added in. And the completed pictures came out great. And then I'm planning to be graduated after March, and I will continue my photos. I also work with Triple Strike Media, and that's it.
My name is Jonathan, Mr. Photoshop Robeson. Some people call me Photo, John, not really picky, but also I'm in Special Topics, and what I'm working on is a whole new levitation project. Kind of compositing photos together to make people seem to wish they're levitating off the ground and not so much of a dramatic or too much of a sci-fi manner. We want to to really make it look more realistic. For the first one, we did more of like a composite of a friend of mine. His name's Kevin, and the whole idea was to have him looking like he's meditating and have all these different objects floating around him. And try to figure out a way to get his dreads to float up. We tried like extending wire to his dreads, and it just didn't work out. It was retarded. So we decided to just have him flip his head back like numerous times, and I think he got dizzy a couple of times. So after like a couple more trials, we just told him to get relaxed. But after that, we just started dropping different objects. Like we dropped a water bottle, and the water popped out of the bottle, and we got that one perfectly. We did my friend Bugs outside in the snow, and the whole idea was to make it look like he's like shooting out of the snow. So we had him stand on a stool out in the blistering cold. I thank you for that, Bugsy. And it turned out really, really great. We had him stand on the stool and flop his jacket up and lift his arms up. And it was really cool. And Adam, he physically throwing the snow up, and he got splashed by the snow. It was crazy, and it was fun. There's a lot of work went into these projects. As far as compositing the images together, using layer mask really helped me. And then also using different types of blending modes when putting the snow in. So maybe setting the snow to a multiply layer, so only the white from the snow shows through on the image. So that really helped me with the Bugsy shoot, and we were throwing the snow up in the air, making sure like nothing was getting through those little snow, like the snow cracks, like cars or tree branches were in between the snow, and making the picture look really unnatural, and like the snow was cropped in. That was the really most difficult part.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Big one. Come on, get ready. 1, 2, 3.
What's going on?
How did you feel about that?
I'm afraid of heights, so felt it was a little shaky. Knees felt a little weak. Legs started shaking. He's like 1, 2, 3. I'm like, I can't hold it because I feel like I'm gonna fall. So
Our project for that one was really, really easy. It's just as far as when it came to the photography for that one, it was really important that the camera did not move at all. When I stood on the stool or whatever, and I erased the stool from under me or the chair from under me, it was very easy and simple because the photography was done so right. So really all I did was stack the blank layer on top of it. Like I stacked the blank layer of me not even in the picture, and then I took another one of me standing on the chair, and then I erased like the bottom half of the picture, and it turned out perfect. That one was probably the easiest one I did, but I say the composite with Kevin was probably the most difficult. Right now I'm actually working for a company called IMAX Design, and I'll probably be working there after graduation. But hopefully I'll end up building up a name for myself, so I won't have to work for anybody else, and I'll be my own businessman. So that's what I'm looking to do now.
My project in Special Topics is basically me learning lighting techniques. When I started this class, lighting was pretty much one of my main weaknesses, and what I'm trying to do with this project is take pictures where the background is completely dark and just using 1 or 2 lighting sources. And what my lighting sources are those small LED flashlights. And the subject matter is more like abstract. I like taking like translucent objects and making the light shine through it, so people really have to stare at it and wonder what it is. And I'm also taking these different pieces and putting together composite shots. I think I learned a lot because you really can get very interesting photos without very expensive equipment. All I was really using was dollar store LED flashlight. And I've also been taking this concept and experimenting it outside during the night, where I play around with longer exposures, or I paint the subject with the flashlight. What I really liked about this class, it really gave me a chance to explore. Since we were able to really pick our own term project, I could really sit down and think of how exactly I could approach a problem or concept and execute it so how it turned out the way I wanted it to. I chose to see what I could do with just the cameras. This experience, these pictures, it's definitely something that I feel can be applied to other things. Like if somebody, this is good experience, good skill for somebody who wants to hire me in a workplace environment, I'm sure it could be applicable. Not exactly sure for what, but that's for whoever's going to hire me to decide, isn't it? Well, after graduation, I'm hopefully looking towards something more towards like Flash development or web development, or even like interface design. It's one of my other interests. So hopefully, if things work out well, something in those areas.
Official keeping time in special topics.
Everybody's jealous of this class.
This is going in. They will see this on Interfaces 2011.
This is an interesting classroom. Let's see what he has to say.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey.
How's it going?
How you doing?
You want to come in?
How's it
You want to come in? We're almost done.
You all right?
Yeah?
Okay.
Huh? You can come in.
Yeah.
We're almost done. 5 more minutes. Okay?
But it's not quite right. And this wheel is impossible, if possible, that whose blind word so clear but so unheard. I've been waiting for the silence all night long. It's just a matter of time to appear sad with the same old lazy eye, vexed to rest on you.